Hey everybody, it's Preston. I'm playing some more Final Fantasy X because Ton is sick today. Get well soon, Ton. God, I miss Ton. Anyway, yeah, Final Fantasy X. We're in Kilika, I guess. We just got attacked at sea by Sin. And now here we are. Oh, okay, well. I do not remember. I'm sure that I've played the game past this point, but I absolutely don't remember it. Oh, jeez. And a lot of walls here. What's going on over here? Hey, watch your step. It's not safe this way. Oh, this might be the town that just got horribly destroyed by Sin. That wasn't made abundantly clear to me. I think we're about to get that explanation. Oh, never mind. I just assumed it was a cutscene. Oh, here we go.
What's ascending? Are we going somewhere?
You truly are clueless. Are you sure it's just your memory that's the problem?
It's not nice.
The dead need guidance. Filled with grief over their own death, they refuse to face their fate. They yearn to live on and resent those still alive. You see, they envy the living. And in time, that envy turns to anger, even hate. Should these souls remain in Spira, they become fiends that prey on the living. Sad, isn't it? The sending takes them to the far plane, where they may rest in peace.
Summoners do this?
Okay. Whoa. Whoa. She's walking on water. That's crazy. How? Summoner? So we have to release the spirits of all the dead folks that were just destroyed in this city by Sin, I guess, and so that they can pass on to the next plane in peace. And if that's not done, they said that's Lulu was saying that's where then the negative spirits will eventually turn into fiends, which is what they call the monsters in this game. So that's a very interesting origin. I always find it's such a throwaway how the game explains why there's just packs of monsters everywhere. And they don't always. Like, I don't think they've actually mentioned where any of the monsters are coming from in Final Fantasy VII. Sometimes it's, you know, appropriate in the context of the area that you're in. Like, sometimes if you're out just outside in the world, you're just getting attacked by animals. But sometimes they're not. They don't look like just animals that would be roaming around. They look really intense. Like, you know, when you're in like what the Midgar enemy where it's just a
Being a summoner.
tiny house with
Yuna
rockets
chose her
that
own
shoot you.
path. She knew
And
from
the
beginning what
creature
it
on
meant.
outside of Midgar on the world map
All
that's
we can do
just sort of like a
is
sentient
protect her
motorcycle.
along
Like,
the way, until the end.
I'm not sure,
Until the.
you know, oh, sometimes you're in, you know, when you're in like the labs and stuff
What's
like
the
that,
end?
and there's like weird mutants around, and that all makes sense. But what are these odd creations? Like, there's so many enemies in that game, and they don't all get an explanation.
Until she defeats Sin.
But sometimes they're like, you know, like basic RPG type,
Oh.
you know, premises. Hey, sorry about that little jump. My capture crashed, so I had to restart it, but I caught it right away. So we just kind of missed the tail end of that cutscene where they were talking about Yuna being upset about the ghosts or something. So save real quick. Yeah. Excuse me. Oops. Yeah, so I was talking about just the weird non-explanations that games give for the origins of their monsters. I do like some of the world building that this game has done. I have conceded to some people in person. I was telling Ton the other day, and I've talked to a couple other people, and I mentioned it to one of our subscribers in the comments that I actually I'm starting to come around on this game. There's definitely still some things about it that I don't like. I don't know if it'll eventually win me over in that regard. I'm still not crazy about the
Hey, you awake?
like
Is waiting for you.
advancement system. I don't like the sphere grid very much. It almost feels like they're tricking me into thinking that it's interactive, and it's, I mean, it is. I mean, I could choose to not, you know, I could choose to not do some things, but it's like, I don't know. I know that later on, whoa. That's crazy. I know that later on, some of the tracks open up a little bit, and you have a little bit of opportunity to customize. And right now, it's really just following the way it's written. But I don't know. I'm not that crazy about it. I think they could have done that a little bit more successfully. Like maybe a job system, sort of like Final Fantasy Tactics. You know, you have different jobs, and you can choose sort of what to focus on. You know, something like that. That's very simple and doesn't require a whole production. Yeah, but I made an observation in my last session, which did sort of like suddenly, oh God, shift my view of this game. And I said that what's interesting about this game is that you are controlling a character who joins a party that already exists and is on their quest, rather than being the central character of that party and picking up people along the way. I'm sort of one of the secondary characters almost. Although obviously Tidus has his own stuff going on, but I don't know. It's an interesting way to frame the story. And I think that alone has sort of redeemed one of my biggest grievances with this game, which was that they just dump all these party members on you at once rather than having you accumulate them over the course of the game, which is something that I usually look forward to.
But is this right?
How's it going? Good. You
Is
sit down?
this really the time?
This is the only time
Thinking about it.
the players fight with all their strength. The fans
Um,
cheer for their favorite team. They forget pain,
The
suffering.
thing you were saying about the monsters.
yeah.
That's why Blitz has been around for so long. At least that's what I think.
This was the this was the first Final Fantasy game that I played, so I didn't really have a concept of like what Final Fantasy games were before I played this. And given the title, I mean, I don't know. Again, I haven't really played a lot of other Final Fantasy games, but I assumed that it's about a world that's like on the verge of an apocalypse. As strange as that sounds, I was like 13. You know, I'm not saying now, but like I was like 13, and so that was kind of like what I had assumed these games were about.
Yeah.
Except like weird versions of that concept, but the religion in this game is clearly like very real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like Yuna, like her powers are very real. Like the religion in this game is really very real, and I've always seen the like excess of monsters as a sign of like this approaching like end of days that is occurring like within this world right now, which they obviously stop because they defeat sin.
Right.
But like as a like 13-year-old who had no concept of like prior Final Fantasy games, that was the like weird mythology that I created around that.
Yeah.
Which is like not entirely wrong, but like that's I wanted to tell you that based on what you were saying about the monsters, because like that was kind of like what I told myself to explain why there is such an excess of like I don't know. I'll go.
Yeah, that's
I'd like you to edit this part out.
I won't. I think you were sleeping the last time I was playing this. But one of the things that I commented on and is that it's like to me, which, and it's not far off, but to me it feels like, and I don't know how the story plays out really, but right now what it feels like is that Tidus comes from this place where it's very like our modern society, right? And everything's like bright and flashy and pop culture and stuff like that. And then this calamity happens and he is sent forward in time, and now he's in this world that it's very much superstitious and faith-based. And I appreciate commenting on the nature of the monsters, that they seem to have gone to great lengths to illustrate that not only is this world that he's in now superstitious and heavily faith-based, and obviously religion plays a very important role in the story of the game, but that it's also real. It's, I guess superstitious is actually the wrong word. It is very faith-based, but it's all very much grounded in reality. But there isn't as much of a dependency on science, I guess, except for the Albed. They seem to have science still, but I haven't really seen much from them. Yeah, I guess just like thinking about it like this and kind of analyzing it in a way where in previous Final Fantasy games you could sort of take the world for granted and just take in the story without really having to process it. And I think that was something that was holding me back from appreciating things that this game does right. And I don't know. I'm sort of enjoying that aspect of it now. Is that the one that okay. Thanks for talking. What's that? You've played it a little, right? Have you ever heard of it? That was the ghost. If you don't know. Sorry, so I got caught up in that conversation, so excuse me. I sort of lost sight for what I was doing. But I do have some stuff to buy. So I'm going to try and do that, but I don't have a lot of money. All these starter weapons sell for very little. That's my party, right? Yeah, okay. So, sorry. Yeah. How do I know what I have? How do I just goddamn out of wisdom? Oh, I am just at a loss. Is it not telling me what I have equipped and what I don't? Doesn't get me. It doesn't tell me what I have equipped. It doesn't tell me. What? Oh, I can like modify stuff. Oh, I forgot about that. I guess that hasn't really come up yet. I don't have any more money, but I'm gonna move on. So I was talking to the ghost, so I kind of wasn't paying attention for what Waka said, so I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be going right now, actually. I assume not in here. I'm gonna go, maybe I'll go back to that spot where they wouldn't let me walk before. It's the next day, so what is going on? Is there something that tells me what I'm supposed to do? Doesn't seem to be, no. Okay. Go this way, since I wasn't allowed to go that way before. See what's it. I know you mentioned the Blitzball game that we're supposed to be playing. Maybe that's what we're doing right now. This looks promising. Oh, we have to go to the Cloister of Trials. Or whatever. I assume. Or the temple. To do the Cloister of Trials. Saving takes forever. Alright. What's up?
Yuna's saying she wants you with us.
Huh?
Whoa.
I want to ask you to be my guardian.
Officially a part of the team.
There's no time for jokes, yeah? He may be a blitzball whiz kid, but up against fiends, he's a newbie.
Not a guardian, then. I just want him nearby.
Wow.
What? What do you mean?
It's just that... Well...
We're all going to the
Yeah.
temple anyway.
It's kind of
Let's go
distracting, right?
together.
It's okay. You're welcome.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have...
There's nothing to be sorry about. I'm just not really sure what's going on.
My apologies.
All right. Kimari does not approve of my presence, but he can fuck right off because I'm here to stay. All right. We will pick this up and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye. I'm waving. Where's my pen?
Continue.